Hi friends, welcome to the Gospel Nomad Girl channel where I talk about life, love, and living by faith. Today's topic is being proactive instead of fearful during coronavirus. So there's so many things taking place on a day-by-day basis that are affecting all of our lives around the globe, the economy, the government, the hospitals, our jobs, our families, school, everything is being affected. And there's so many unknowns, so there's so much that can be fearful. Not even knowing if we're carriers of COVID-19 because it's asymptomatic for 2 weeks. And doing the best we can to follow, those government regulations of social distancing and 6 feet apart from one another, washing our hands for 20 seconds at a time, and keeping our environment sanitized. All these are things that we can do. But again, we don't know how long this is going to go on. I don't know how it's affected you. My city's under lockdown right now. And so again, we're at essential businesses. And so there's 8 principles that I'm going to share with you right now for what I'm doing to be proactive about the things that I can control and the things that I can be proactive about. And I'm going to use an acronym. I've heard it before, maybe you've heard it before, but it's the word New Start. And it stands for nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, and trusting in God. Now that you're like, oh, well, I know that, I don't need to hear this. No, hold on, listen. So how is this playing out nutrition-wise? So regardless of what germs are going around, I want to focus on boosting my immune health, because my body then, if it's in optimal health, is going to have a better chance fighting COVID-19 if I get it, and also a better chance on kicking it if I do get it, even if it goes severe. So I'm really focused on keeping my body in optimal health during this time. It's a goal. So with nutrition, I normally eat a plant-based diet for the most part anyways. So I've just found my body functions best. I sleep better, I rest better, I feel better when I have a plant-based diet. So what does that mean? I am pretty simple. I am not a foodie. I am a eat to live rather than live to eat person. And I eat pretty simply. I do eat my fruits and veggies, my nuts and seeds and grains, and beans and lentils. The grains I have to do organic because I'm gluten sensitive, and also the GMOs I find affect my body. So getting in my quinoa, my oats. I do rice, like a mixture of rices. And some other ones, but that's my basic go-tos for those. And got my potatoes, my butternut squashes, those things. The things that I'm boosting during this time though is I am focused more on cooking and using more garlic and onions, since those are really good at boosting the immune system and helping with sickness. The other thing is my fruit. I'm more of a berry person. I like my berries, my raspberries, my blueberries, my strawberries, my pears, mangoes, love mangoes. But I'm trying to infuse more citruses. Grapefruit's more of a winter go-to for me. But so I don't know what I have against oranges. I think I just don't like peeling them. And sometimes, they can turn out dry, and then it's such a disappointment. I'm like, I don't even want to find out if this is dry or juicy. I don't even want to peel it. But I did buy a bag of oranges because I can juice it. And I have a juicer. I don't know if you can see it. Right there's my juicer. So I've been increasing what I do for juicing, and my basic go-to, and there's so many different varieties you can do, but I'm kind of like, let me throw in a bag of celery and some carrots and an apple and some, ginger and some cilantro and whatever else I may have, some spinach, just getting all that nutrients in the juicer. So fiber is super good for our bodies, and all that fiber makes me sad that it's not being utilized in my body. But since I'm focused on concentrated nutrition right now, I'm just been juicing more of the veggies, and I can juice the orange also. Do you like orange and carrots? Yeah, so that's another juice. The other thing that I'm doing is I take a multivitamin every day, but I also, vitamin B complex vitamin. I take a vitamin D at like 1,000 IUs and turmeric. But I've increased my vitamin D3 to 5,000 IUs, and I bought a vitamin C because I've been out for a while, but I was like, I will get my vitamin C restocked, and I have that at about 500 milligrams. I can't remember where I heard it, and maybe you may know that, but that our body can only process like 500 to 600 milligrams at a time. It's water soluble, so it'll just flush through us during the day. But taking more than that really doesn't help, because your body can only process like 500 or 600 at a time. So I got it at 500, and I can take it a couple times a day. And the vitamin D3 and the vitamin C work really well together, again, just to boost immune system, and if you're sick, to help fight that sickness. So I have been proactive on that. I also bought some zinc lozenges. So I know that there's a little bit of like rice syrup in that, but it also has elderberry and the zinc. And I was listening to a doctor talk about how it's good to just be able to suck on that if we're out and around people also, because zinc is good at combating toxins. I also do have charcoal tablets. So if I've been out, maybe I'll take a couple of charcoal tablets. Again, just safety precautions. I don't know what that would do with COVID-19, but I'm like, well, take some charcoal. So I have charcoal tablets I can take also. So that's what I'm doing for my nutrition to help boost immune system. The next thing with exercise, what is your favorite exercise? I can tell you that I have basically cut out pajamas from my life, and therefore my laundry also, because I will just sleep in my workout clothes, throw on my yoga pants, a sports bra, a t-shirt or tank top or long sleeve, depending on the season, and roll out of bed into my shoes and out the door for a workout. And then I can just throw that in the laundry afterwards. My favorite type of workout is a fitness boot camp, where I just show up and I'm told how to work out different muscle groups each day with a group of people, and for 45 minutes to an hour. And then I like to go run for a couple miles. I don't like working out indoors. I need to be in the fresh air. Sometimes I feel like I'm suffocating if I'm in a pool or a gym. I'm like, where is the fresh air? I need the fresh air. So I like being out in the outdoors, and that's what I do for my exercise right now. And anytime I exercise, I just feel like I win for the whole day. So if I start my day with exercise, and especially if it's a workout, especially those leg workouts where you feel like you can't walk afterwards, but you're like, I finished, I hit it, I won. And even if you're walking weird for like a day or two, but you just feel good and strong, so we won. The next thing is water. So I start my day drinking water, like hot water. I'll wake up, roll out of bed, and fill up my electric kettle. So before I work out, this is before I work out. I fill up my electric kettle, and there's two things that I have as a go-to right now. I don't do caffeine, but I have ginger turmeric that I'm doing right now. So I'll put one of these little tea bags in my water bottle, throw in a little bit, like a tablespoon of local honey, and put that in my little bottle blender and shake that up, and I'll drink that. And then I also have something called lemon and honey. Lemon, I juice a lemon, and just again throw in a tablespoon or two of a local honey that I have, and I'll take that with me and drink that as I crawl back into bed to have my time with God and in prayer and in the Bible for the next 45 minutes to an hour. So then I'm ready to work out, and I have another water bottle that I use for that, and fill that up with like room temperature water or some cold water, hit the workout, whether that's at the gym or right now, since we can't get together in the gym, I'm rolling down to the basement and throwing out my yoga mat and the weights I do have, which are just 10-pound weights, and watching YouTubes online on different fitness boot camps and different muscle groups. It was so good. Like last week and the week before, the corporate office for the Burn boot camps was sending out a daily live workout. And so I know that that's what I need. So it was like, either I hit it or I miss it. I can't miss it. This is what I need, this live workout. And so that felt awesome. Yeah, so back to the water. So, and then I just carry around water if I'm at work, especially when I was in grad school. I would just carry my water, fill it up all the time, everywhere with me. Water. What else am I doing with water? Well, showering. That's always a good thing. Keep this hygiene, keep clean in the midst of all this germaphobe stuff going on. But in my shower, I've incorporated, well, 1/2 things. But one is deep breathing. Why would I stand there and do deep? Well, I'm standing there just washing my hair, my body. The shower has steam. I'm taking a hot shower, so there's steam, there's moisture in the air, and I just want to breathe in deep the moisture in the air and keep my lungs hydrated, so as well as my body topped up so all my cells can function optimally and not be dehydrated. I still want to take care of my lungs and breathe in some of that steam. Other options could be like boil a pot on the stove and just funnel some of that steam. I don't want to burn my face, but just to keep the lungs hydrated. And then also in hot showers, there's a lot of things that can be done with hydrotherapies. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I've listened to doctors and natural remedies and studied those. And so just hot and cold with water works as a pump on your body. So when there are sicknesses going around, or these are things that can be done to help with your lungs and help your lungs fight. But so I take a hot shower and then I just end my shower with cold, like turn it all the way cold or most of the way cold, and just stand under the cold water for, I don't count, but 10, 15 seconds, and just let it close my pores. Hot opens, cold closes the pores. Another thing with water is I don't have a humidifier in my apartment, but I do have like little plastic containers that I can put near the air vents full of water. And again, just trying to get moisture in the air and to help the air quality in my lungs as I'm breathing in and out, as well as throwing open the windows and letting some fresh air come in. So that's water. The next one is S for sunshine. So I love natural lighting. Even when I was putting out the ad, since I knew I'd be moving to the state that I'm in right now for a year, I put out an ad and I was just like, hey, I'm looking for a roommate that is, and a room to rent, a furnished room to rent for this amount or under this amount. That was my top budget line. That is clean, that has windows and good natural lighting, that has space in their fridge for my fruits and veggies and room on the countertop for, my blender, my kettle, my juicer. And I had another female reach out to me, be like, hey, I think my place would work. I'm looking for a roommate. And so it's worked out perfect. So sunshine, right now the window blinds are half closed, so you don't have to look at all the cars right now outside of the apartment. But I wake up and I throw open the blinds. I want the sunshine in. I want light in the living room, in my bedroom, in the kitchen, wherever I'm at, as well as the non-natural lighting that's on, just to have light and bright spaces. Also getting out in the sunshine. It's spring where I'm at, so in the Midwest there is some rainy days, some cloudy days, and some sunny days. And if it's a sunny day, I want to be out in that, and because that's also the vitamin D producer in our bodies. And so if I can get some natural vitamin D, that's a win also. Still taking my supplement to boost it though, as a doctor said that most people, if they were to take a test on their vitamins or minerals, are low in vitamin D3. So, but also sun is a natural sanitizer, and I don't have a clothesline here, but if I did, I would put out my laundry on that and let the sun, brighten the whites and brighten the colors instead of throwing them in the dryer. And that way it's just that natural disinfectant, that natural, and when I'm out in the sunshine, I don't know about you, but when the sun is shining, I just feel like everything in the world feels okay, and everyone feels better and lighter and just happier about things, even if there's so much craziness going on in the world. I've definitely seen so many more families and couples and people out exercising because, well, that's healthy. But again, when we're stuck in social isolation, that's another thing to do, to get out of the house and out into the outdoors. The next letter is T for temperance. So that's kind of an older word, but just like self-control and having balance and moderation in the different areas of life. And I'm using that letter to represent just like routine and consistency in my life. Again, because there's so many things that are coming at, like, how long is this gonna last? How's this gonna affect my work? And well, there's many things I don't know right now, but I do wanna focus on what I can, and hitting these things every day that I'm sharing with you, these 8 principles of health, are things that I wanna be consistent in. I wanna be able to check them off. And so this is more like hashtag life goals right now. And my roommate's not here because she can work remotely. So she went to hang out at her parents' place on a farm in the middle of Nowheresville right now. And I hope she's having a great time. But otherwise, even that, what can you do with your own family to come up with goals? So everyone's like, let's get on board. We're gonna fight this. How are we gonna do this together? And so that's what I'm personally doing. That's T, that's temperance. The next letter is A for air. Again, fresh air, getting out in the fresh air. Our lungs need fresh air. If the windows are down, the doors are closed, again, that's stale air, and our bodies need that fresh air, not only for the moisture that can be in it. I don't know where you live and how dry your air is though. But just so that our lungs can have a better fighting chance at fighting any infections, because they have moisture. They're not just breathing recycled, dry air again and again and again, but getting that fresh air in, that healthy air, that moisturized air into our lungs. So that's air. That's all I got for air on that. Or drive with your windows down if it's not raining or cold. And also just being outside in the fresh air for me, because this is the spring and the weather fluctuates, it goes from hot to cold to sunny to rainy and damp. Being extra self-conscious about what I wear, because it's a time when it's easier to get colds, like the earth is producing more pollen, so more allergies going on. So any of those can be like, oh wait, do I have a cough? Oh, is this a cold? Oh, or is this allergies? What's happening? Is this COVID-19? But with the temperatures fluctuating, I really want to be sensitive to keeping my feet warm, keeping my head warm, making sure that that I'm wearing the right clothes and not going to extremes with the temperature, because that's gonna be how I get sick usually. If I'm like, okay, shorts, okay, winter coat, okay, let me be moderate about what I'm wearing in the outdoors also, and making sure my body is warm. Even in the house, I wear slippers because I was hearing something about that also. Just making sure your body's warm, and I already wear socks, but I have hard surfaces, and so they're cool, and I notice the difference. It's like, keep your feet warm, keep your body warm, because it's easier to combat things. Okay, that's not fresh air, but it came out in it. So the next one is rest. So I was listening to a doctor talk about how important rest is. I mean, Obviously, if we're sick, our bodies need to rest, to recuperate, to have that time for our internal organs and immune system and everything else that our bodies were designed to fight sickness with are at work. And that's a lot of work that our bodies are doing, even if we're just lying there. But how important, he said, even in the preventative, is sleep. I think the normal, thing that people would say is like, get your 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Some people need more, some people need less. But I know in this time, especially when the temptation for me is to be like up on my phone at night and wanting to learn more about COVID-19 and hearing the latest stories and hearing, people who have been sick, who've gotten over it, or doctors who are dying, and nurses, or whatever I could be on, just learning more about this and catching up with friends. Because loving myself well, and part of being proactive is making sure I'm getting sleep. So those hours before midnight are the best. And that way I'm awake in the morning, ready to hit my workout, ready to start my day, instead of just hitting the snooze because I can. And then just letting my day slowly go to waste, instead of being more proactive in the ways that I want to focus on here. So rest, important for being proactive, also loving myself well. The last one is trust in God. I have a bowl that I use like every day. Somebody gave it to me for my birthday a few years ago, and it has the Bible verse, the beginning of the Bible verse, trust in the Lord with all your heart. So there's many times that I could just be thinking about something and I see that bowl with that verse on, and I'm just reminded, like, you know what? I don't need to be anxious. God, I trust you. God, I don't know how you're going to work this out, but I trust you. So it's always that reminder. How's that playing out now? Well, like I said, I normally in my routine anyways, like I get up, I get my hot cup of tea or lemon and honey, I climb back into my bed and hunker down with my Bible and have my time in prayer. So just laying my day before the Lord, just asking Him to organize it and to guide me in what I should be doing, in addition, just to whatever else I need to be doing. But also, especially in this time of the unknowns, like, God, what do I need to be focusing on right now, and for work, and I have friends that are doctors and nurses, and just praying for them. I have some acquaintances that have COVID-19 and are in the hospital, so praying for them, and other people that I keep hearing about, let me pray for them. And so things that I want to lift up before the Lord instead of carrying them, because ultimately, again, when I get into the Bible, when I get into His Word, like, I am reminded of how big He is and how He has everything in control. Even if it looks out of control, He's in control. And those stories that I can read about in the Bible show me how much He's in control of what's going on in this planet, even if it seems like it's just crazy, and it can be like, well, where are you, God? Like, what's going on? Where are you if all this is going on? But I find a God that's wanting to connect with people, and He tells us, He's like, draw near to me and I will draw near to you. Call unto me, I'll show you great and marvelous things you don't know. If anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask of me, and I give it without finding fault. And so I'm just reminded of putting my trust in God, because otherwise, what is causing me unrest? What is causing anxiety? Where am I putting my trust? Is it in the government? Is it in mortal man who's here today and gone tomorrow? Is it in the economy, and I can only have peace as long as the economy is stable and sorted out? Is it in my job and my ability to provide for myself when I didn't even ask to exist on this planet to begin with, but I'm alive, and there's a God who made me and sustains me, even the air that I breathe and the products that make our home, the wood, the granite, the countertops in my apartment. God made all those things when He made the planet. And so, so I'm just like, okay, he's got this and He's got me. But again, it takes that day by day and listening for His instruction. A couple weeks ago, I was looking at getting another part-time job, and I was just, because I was like, oh, people are starting to lose their jobs and we don't know how long this is going to go on. So maybe I need to set aside this time, because right now I've just been working a part-time temp job for a couple months, because I prioritize having free time so I could write a book. And so when all this started hitting, I was like, oh, well, do I need to get a job like with more hours? And we don't know how this is, what do I need to do for savings? And because I'm living so economically right now. And again, it could go to fear. And so I was looking online. I was like, oh, let me look up some temp jobs or some even delivery jobs right now. And I filled out an app. I signed up for a interview, and the next morning I got this devotional. I have a devotional app also that I read in addition to my Bible, and it's a Bible verse and then a thought about it and then a prayer. And it was talking about just waiting on the Lord. And I've had this in my path before where I've just learned, oh no, trust the Lord's time. I trust the providence, and I just need to wait. And when I try and go ahead, when I've already heard wait, it just doesn't work out. And I find out later why I should not have taken that step. So am I placing my trust in my ability to provide for myself and my work, or am I going to hunker down with God and find out what his strategy is to navigate me through this? Because again, for me, I don't know if you're familiar with some of those Bible stories, but like even the story of when God was leading the Israelites out of Egypt into the promised land, into the land of Canaan, and they were between the Red Sea and Pharaoh's armies, and they're like, why'd you bring us out here, Moses, to kill us? And God was just like, stand back, Moses, put out your rod over the Red Sea and you'll walk through on dry land. Anytime we're up against a rock and a hard place, God has a strategy, but it's a case of, are we going to panic and try our own way, which for them, they were complaining. And then at another time when they were facing a hardship, they're like, let's find a different leader. We're not listening to Moses. We're not listening. We're going to find a different leader and go back to slavery, go back to Egypt. And so rather than walk in freedom and trust God. So again, where am I placing my trust? And so I was thinking about this during my workout, and I ended up going and taking some more time in prayer, because I don't want to take a step to create my own stability if the Lord is telling me that's not his plan for me right now. And so I canceled it. And again, I was just like, God, I'm trusting you. I'm hearing wait. I don't know what that means right now. But I trust that you have a plan and a provision for me in this, and I want to know your plan, and I'm going to wait for it. So that's exactly what I've done. And again, just coming back to, am I going to be proactive? Am I going to be fearful? Am I going to seek God in this and until I hear a word from him and am reminded of his ability to take care of me and his ability to provide for me, even if it is a different way than I would have thought. I've learned already in my past history with God, he's told me not to renew my lease before. He's told me not to apply for a job. He's like, this is not the job for you this season. Don't apply for that. Even if I went through with the interview, I knew the whole way to the interview, God was like, don't do this. And I had no peace through the interview. I just knew I shouldn't have been there and done that. And I ended up just telling them, no, I wouldn't be doing that anyways. So again, I just have that record that I know, okay, I need to trust God, and that's where I'm putting my trust. So that's what I'm doing. New start, to be productive instead of fearful. That's where I'm finding my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being, and looking for that guidance from God, because he's got a plan and a strategy. And I need peace in my life, and that's ultimately where I get that. So hit the subscribe button, and if this was helpful for you, or you think it's gonna be helpful for somebody, feel free to share it. I'd also love to hear what you're doing in this time to be proactive about boosting your immune health, and yeah, instead of whatever you're doing to combat fear right now, and keeping your eyes on the greater picture that's going on. And that's it. So guys, this is the Gospel Nomad Girl talking about life, love, and living by faith, and just encouraging you to be proactive instead of being fearful today. God bless. Bye.